Nation. So I'm surrounded here by my people, and thank you for coming. And nobody can touch you, man. You got a Filipino guy on my left, got a Filipino guy on my right. To your right, to your left, and to your right, right? So if you guys want to join in, this is called the iHotel Nation. Read this for Leon over there, Leon's son, a talented artist and great poet. iHotel Nation. The Manangs and Manongs spirits have risen from the empty hole in the ground. Their heavy footsteps travel Manila town bound. And like my Uncle Al always said, with carabao eyes they see the morning, they feel the mist on their carabao skin. We hang on to their carabao tails, moving closer to Manila town, moving closer to North Beach, moving closer to our hearts. And the iHotel Manila Town rice fields expand in the heart of Larry Itliong, the mind of Al Robles, a mind and heart thick with fog and poems and mud. The Manila Town bound feet of the Manongs move to the music of the crying mandolin heart. And Manila Town bound are the songs of our people, the sweat of our people, the history of our people, the poetry of our people, the skin of our people, the fire of our people. Our hearts are Manila Town bound from Soma, from south of Market, from Samcan to Bill Soro Housing, to VEC, to Alaska, to Waipahu, to Virginia Beach, to Seattle, to Stockton, to San Diego, to Philadelphia, to New Jersey, to Watsonville, to Salinas, to Oakland, to San Francisco, to Ileton, to Vallejo, and to Daly City. Manila Town bound to the corner of Kearny and Jackson Streets. Manila Town bound to the iHotel. Brick by brick rising out of the ground into the sky, taller than redwoods, with the fragrance of the lives of the Manongs and Manans, and youth and artists, and youth like United Players, and poets and teachers, and nanais and tatais, and lolas and lolos, rising like a poem in the skin called the iHotel Nation. And thank you very, very much. My friends, dear San Francisco, I have walked the length of your streets, have felt your fog breath in my face, have stood shoulder to shoulder on your buses with the generation that came before and the one before that. I have seen the poetry written in the walls and on the floors of those who gave the city life and nourishment. I have seen you dance, and I have seen your streets swallow whole the dreams born on the tongues of poets. I have sat in your churches with one eye open to see if it was true that ghosts float between the pews. And I have sat in your classrooms where my real teachers were the faces and bodies and voices and landscape in murals that attached to my skin and moved my blood, taking me deeper into myself. And I have washed the dishes in the back room while artists and businessmen and daughters and sons and visitors and transplants contemplated their plates, washing down fear and insecurity with the veneer of wine. I have seen the empty lots and empty houses come alive in the poetry of my uncles. I have heard the voices echo from the past, from the heart of the city in an empty can of beer. In the blink of a heart, I have seen the murals of our faces and bodies and minds, the landscape of our spirit painted over in fluorescent hues. I have seen our buildings and bodies and dreams knocked down, crushed by the wrecking ball mind. I have seen your children and elders vanish silently. I have seen the story in our skin fade, and I have seen the names of those children who are now grown, names carved into their necks in cursive loops and circles and lines that travel to the pit of the heart. And I've seen the trees bear silent witness, recording everything in their leaves and in their skin. I have seen the city's heart in spring, in summer, fall, and winter. I have felt every tongue lap into my ear the sweet and bitter curled notes of struggle, love, and tragedy. San Francisco, I have seen your two-face, three-face, four-face, your many shades that blended into a gumbo stew of fire and tears that settle in the belly that doesn't rest. And I have heard your silence, loud silence that fills the ears and mind, like the resting silence of a pawn shop asleep, encased in a glass tomb. I have seen the trees pulled up by the roots and discarded like Christmas trees on New Year's, and I have seen the buildings stab the sky, stab into our eyes and blind us. And I've heard the ravens cry in the morning as the mental, or the metal, or it could be both, as the metal rails whip around our minds, grinding into the ground, disturbing the resting bones of abuelitas, abuelitos, grandmothers and fathers, and the sacred indigenous dream paved over by a sunless sun. And San Francisco, I gotta tell you, let me tell you, come close. Lend me your ear, San Francisco, the place where I was born, where my people were born, where my cousins were born, my father was born, my mother was born. Let me tell you something. You sure you're listening? Okay, here it is. San Francisco, your eyes are empty. Your houses are empty. Your canvas is bare of poems. Your mirrors and windows are missing reflection. Your flowers are drained of color. Your eyes hold no murals. Your skin is scrubbed raw. Your canvas contains no art. Your poems are eviction notices. And your skin, let me tell you, your skin is a thin postcard that reads non-deliverable. And your tongue is a torn bus transfer out of town. San Francisco, I don't know you anymore.
All right.
A pot simmers in a house in the city, in a flat in the city, in an apartment in the city. A pot that has seen the seasons come and go. A pot that sits on a stove with grease built from decades of experience that cannot be captured in a recipe book. A pot handed down from grandmother to mother, from grandfather to son, from mother to daughter, from father to son, and to those yet born. I said a pot is on a slow boil in the city, with recipes traced from generation to generation on slips of paper stained with fingerprints. A bit of this, a pinch of this, a dash of that. I'll say it again. A bit of this, a pinch of this, and a dash of that. Now seared with the experience of eviction. A pot simmers on a stove in the city. A pot that holds the water of time on a slow boil on that greasy gas range, on a slow boil, on a slow boil. slow boy in the city. And again, like my wife says, punto. The women say as you walk by, you got a cigarette? And sometimes you don't gotta smoke, and sometimes you do. And the smoke is settled, and the once neon lights that smiled in their self-assuredness are distant flickers. OG, original gangster, played every game, knew every hustle backwards and forwards. OG, still hustling, still selling a dream or two, a watch, a radio, a coat, or even a late night bus transfer. Hey OG, let me talk to you for a moment. As you strut down the runway, one way, no way, that is Market Street, where you hear half of what is said and seeing everything. OG limping down the street with a diluted tattoo that sits like a puzzle piece in a mural that has been stripped of its color, its dream, its identity. OG, they call you. And sometimes you ain't in the mood for that OG shit. Sometimes it might just as well stand for old goat. But when you light that cigarette, it lights up the whole of Market Street, as well as the eyes of those who remember you. What's up, OG? You got a cigarette? So I want to introduce.
Mine ain't really a piece, it's just a story. How I feel about the city. I be going shopping to the store, new folks moving to my community, and one man actually demanded that I walked around him in my community, that I be courteous to him in my community. And he don't even know me. Boy, ain't no sunshine in Frisco. Ain't no sunshine on the bay. Ain't no sunshine on the bay. My nation's dying every day. Lord, I'm trying, show me the way. As I thought about that elder lady down there pushing the cart, like Tiny said, in the tender line, when I was a little bitty kid, I stomped the streets with that same lady. I never did judge her, and every dollar I made sure I broke bread with that lady. The man that was staying in the Jefferson Hotel who had one leg amputated, but he always begged me for $5 every morning at 7 a.m. sharp because he wanted his fix so he can function in life. This goes out to the young sister who was 14 years old. Mama was in the penitentiary and she had nobody who didn't want to mess with the CPS because she knew they couldn't protect her. So what she did what she had to do was hustle on a block and put a roof over her child's head, even though she didn't know no better. This goes to my grandmother out here who sat up here and migrated from the South and put every dollar and penny and quarter and dollar to making sure that we had something for when she passed on, only for her to pass on, for them to take her home anyway. This goes out to my mother, who struggled in the movement, an advocate, Black Panther, Muslim, strong sister, freedom fighter, loved everybody, would get a Klansman to turn against Bush in 30 seconds with one conversation, guarantee you. But she died in the hood, because she didn't want to see the day that they took it from her. That was all she knew. My baby brother, he said, I wanted to leave San Francisco. I'd rather go to Iraq and fight that war than to fight the war in San Francisco. He died too. This is to all the people who I see out here every day that the police jack us and say that we not shit, that we belong in jail, that we belong in hell, that we belong dead, that we belong incarcerated. But until you talk to that person and ask them what's on their mind, I bet you they got a million stories to tell you. I come from the concrete jungle on Eddie Laguna Street. And that's where my poem 12 Stories came from, because I had a story for each story that was there, but they had the big trees there because the building that I stayed in was a concrete jungle and it was blighted to the community, so wouldn't nobody see it until you got to Laguna Street. The same neighborhood that even folks from other places, other territories even came and tried to overrun, where we had criminals that ran the street because the police didn't give a damn because they was too busy setting up the zebra wars, which I lost our stepfather in. So what happened? The man in the neighborhood was the policeman and watched out for the rapist, aka the booty buster. I'm from Frisco and there was a rapist called the booty buster. Who took care of that? We didn't call the police, the men of the community. Where we had the beautiful African American families in Filmo, the Samoan families, the Japanese families, the Filipinos like the Robles, like the Rons, like the Pasinos, like the Gardas. These are the people that help put the seeds in the ground that grew that mighty tree that they trying to chop down. Every 1st and 15th, my mama give me $50 and I go down to Mission Street to Foxy 7 because the spandex was $3.99. Then go up the street and get a couple pizzas and go get a taco and then make sure I buy my baby brother something because I wasn't a selfish kid. This is the same place who I stood up in a church and questioned the preacher because he said I was a heathen because I didn't believe in his deity. This is the same place where I wrote my first poetry book, where I cried my first cry and had many heartbreaks and buried lots of people. Where I fought police because he hit me because I was 7 months pregnant. I hit him back. He's human just like me, or is he? This is the same place where I rose about the streets and I seen many people die out there in the streets. And then I go see my friend. He has a crack pipe in his hand. I say, put that pipe down, but I'm happy to see you. Here, let me go buy you something to eat. I'll never forget where I come from, even though 10, 15, 20 years from now, I still see the same people doing the same insane shit. But see, I am grown in spiritual height and I am grown in spirituality. I can go back on them streets just like Jesus did and touch the people instead of saying, I'm glad I'm not like them anymore. You never forget where you come from. This is what I seen in San Francisco while the joggers look at me as some girl that's dressed like a vagrant in a city that they don't know nothing about, and then they bring the bed bugs and they suitcases that tear our asses up and we all got allergic reactions. Oh, they gonna get us out of here one way or another. Do you understand me? But not without a fight. Because what the people need to do is unite and we turn it and hit their ass for equity. Even a man that's sleeping out on the street deserves a roof over his head. This is the roots that I see in San Francisco, California, where we all grew up together. We all struggled and we all came together in love and prosperity. We didn't need no judge, no cop, or no pig, or no racist bastards to tell us what our destinies was, because we was very well aware of the roads that we were taking. Now that I see San Francisco right now, I keep having these dreams that it's going to fall in the water. San Francisco, San Andreas is not the movie that's not going to even describe the destruction that's going to fall upon the city because of the greed and the tyranny and the bury us, the ones who came here on our asses and helped build this city, who helped build this country and who helped build this world. Where's our reparations? And we don't mean giving us lumber and giving us some used books so we can give the miseducation to our children, but it's time for the truth. Otherwise, Frisco is going to fall in the water. You give it back to the people right now. Like I said, ain't no sunshine in Frisco because they keep building these skyscrapers. We ain't going to see no sun no more. And all these busy taxi cab drivers, and they think this is mini Manhattan. And all the people with the angry faces and the iPods, and they have no self-awareness whatsoever. The mindless people that come into Gap and come into Old Navy and spend thousands of dollars thinking that they're buying a piece of our city. But I can't even get $1 to give me a slice of pizza. Close down all the McDonald's and put up all the goddamn In-N-Out burgers, something organic. Let the community do that. Fuck McDonald's. Come to Big Mama's Burgers where it's all organic, baby, and your cheese is made by me. Let's take back the land. Let's take back the hood. Let's bring homelessness in every goddamn hood all across the United States and all around the world. Because what they're doing to us right now, they just want to see us die. But you know what? I'm better than Batman, baby. As I stand on that tallest building and look down and I can count every demon that I see. This goes out to the people that's out in the streets, out in the hostro, out in the crack house, out in the outhouse, the jail house, mama house, papa house. Everywhere. Because without those elements, we can't even write a legacy because it takes the good and the bad. But I'll be damned if we're going to let some gentrifiers redefine our history in Frisco. Thank you.
Check us out, magazine.org and all time. I like that. People in between who walk down the streets and scream. Why did you leave me? Why did you leave and go away? Taking my heart and throw it in the goddamn street. You are a whore. Anyway, slept with Bush. I know it. I saw it. I don't care. Why did you leave me? Why did you go away? Why did you leave me? Why did you go away? Her hair was long strands sailing in the night air. Was no people that wondered where she was or even cared. My mama used to say, one day that will be me. If you leave me, I will be there, screaming, pushing a shopping cart, begging the world to not hurt me. And then there was a too young girl who walks the street at night with only a bra and a pair of tights, screaming at a family who long ago left her. And then the scream goes out to someone, anyone, the same one, for hours until it is night. Will someone come for her? Or will people just walk on by, not being able to stand her sight? Why did you leave me? Why did you go away? Where are you trying to go? You're taking my heart out. I know you messed with Bush. I know it. I saw it. I do it. I dare. I was there. I saw it. I know it. I did. You see, I come from the rivers of broken people where our eyes lead sorrow and our faces melt with pain. You see, I come from the rivers of broken people where our eyes leak sorrow and our faces melt with pain, and the city sprays waters on our houseless body and calls us out our name, and we are less than important, and we are less than recycled bottles and only worth the price that our incarceration can gain. Why'd you leave me? Why'd you go away? Why are you trying to leave me? Why are you trying to pretend you don't know me? I know you slept with Bush. I saw it. Their women and men blend into the night sky, becoming part of a moonbeam, a doorway, or just the movement in our eyes, screaming out to the human race for eternally failing us, to the lie of independence and the violent act of looking away.
The mission is for our people to stay and don't go away. See, because the new conquistadores are here. Hipsters with pocket full of greens. Can you dig? Impossible. Impossible is not to fight and struggle for our barrios, communities that little by little are disappearing. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. La misión, the mission, is more than a street or an avenue. It's a book of history. And each street is a page that not raise the past and the present. 16 in Mission, our Gente Plaza. I remember the beautiful weekend I've spent chopping it out with the others. Oye hermano, yo soy Latino. As we baked in the sun and elder shuts out. As we baked the law by sitting side by side. Sabrosa cumbia playing in the old boombox. Was I going to play La Belleza Latina, the beautifulness of people of color walking by. The sin of 3 blocks away, a hot dog's wrapped in bacon. Oh my God, I think I'm in heaven. No, es la misión y sus perros calientes. The people from different walks of life, colors, flavors is what we call the mission. The mission, the mission. Your bruised streets, decay, poorly taken care of like our communities. Aquí estamos y no nos damos. We are here to stay. See, because they are here. The culture vultures, developers, estate agents, community haters, looking for the next community to flip like an old house, clean the black, the brown, and the poor, bring the condos and the picket fences. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. We are here to stay. If we don't go away.
Uncle out here, born and raised, second generation in my family from my grandma's side. He's out there somewhere, and I'm trying to find him. And you know, this gentrification and this locust infestation has got to stop, because we don't need no more Twitter. So I'm gonna do this one called Concrete, and it's about what's going down with folks in our community being houseless. When you step into the downtown looking around, you see the down of humanity. Who was once somebody's baby living down on the concrete street on the ground? Do you dare to careful say what you want to say? Step on steroid? Double standard, mind warp thinking. Not my problem. This is where you got it wrong. Think you're strong, move along, but you can't just lie in there. Cause what it is, living on concrete. What it is, living on concrete. Call it whatever you want to call it. At a distance, but in reality it's a casualty of a capitalist existence. Through the food chain of command is the plan of the man. Step off, shut the up. I say a bad word there. Welcome by, why take a stand? But be grateful for what you got, even if you've been just toss the breadcrumb. Cause democracy of democracy, living nothing for that street bum. Cause what it is, living on concrete. 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 Cause NIMBYistic ideology, no apology, psychology. Haven't you realized you've been hypnotized, homogenized, desensitized to a typical, statistical, egotistical ideology to accept the neglect and disrespect your own humanity? Cause what it is, living on concrete. 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 Call it whatever you want to call it.
Mis palabras son mis balas, mi lápiz es mi arma, my words are my bullets, my pen is my gun. So sit back and relax, because we're going to drive by.
All right.
See, she the shy one. My name is Queen Nandi. Queen Nandi Extra. I was born and raised in Fillmore, Mount Zion Hospital, 74. Destined to be a member of Pope. Survived the streets, survived the police when I got my ass beat, survived the gentrification, survived the cockroaches, and now, I ain't survived the bed bugs. What a goddamn bed bugs. The gentrifiers brought the bed bugs too, y'all. So that's a whole nother battle. That's Satan's cockroaches here in the city. Because if they ain't gonna kick us out, kill us out, or flush us out, I guess they're gonna eat us out.
My name is Vivi T. I'm with Poor Magazine on the scene, super baby mama welfare queen. And I am a third generation San Francisco native who was gentrified out of my tierra. So this is my home, my family's home, my community's home, and we need to hold it down and keep it real.
I am the poverty scholar, criminalized, racialized, and always in struggle for $1. I am all the people you don't want to see, never want to be. Look away from me. What you gonna do? Arrest me? Because I'm in your city. I am the poverty scholar, and I rock this jailhouse attire because me and my poor mama did jail time just trying to stay alive in this holler. I don't rock the orange suit because it's cute. But I stand here for all the black and brown and young and poor white youth who were incarcerated in the plantation prisons every day in America, KKK. I am the melanin-challenged daughter of a strong woman of color, for without whom there would be no me, a mama soltera and a welfare queen. Ashe Mama D. Okay, so we're gonna spit short pieces and then get you back to the rock star, but we are the poets of Poor Magazine. If you don't already know, we're poets in poverty using the word to heal, educate, and relate how to survive and thrive through race and class oppression. Poets is just one of our many powerful, poor people-led, indigenous people-led projects. Tony Robles is the co-editor. We do everything in a circle because that's how poor people lead. We don't lead with one person telling everybody what to do, but we lead understanding and listening to everybody. So y'all welcome to come out to our landless people's liberated land in the pre-gentrification zone in Deep East Wichinoloni land, that's Deep East Oakland and Black Arthur, and visit the Decolonized Academy School and Homefulness, which is a poor people-led solution to homelessness. Help us build a liberated movement. Thank you.
Muteado silencio, presente y me alegro. We cross the border.
Is not ashamed of his face, his fire face, his thick mango face, his dream face. His brown skin cannot hide his brown life, his brown dreams. Rudy's tongue has never been still. His whispers awaken the raven heart of the community in early morning. Journals sing out, cry out the way Rudy does in the morning. The fire of his life spreads across Market Street, 6th Street. Rudy is not ashamed of his life, not ashamed of the life tattooed on his tongue. And Brother Rudy's poems flow like the rivers of fire, never stopping, never ending. And check this out. Rudy's family is every street corner, every cry, every embrace, every fist, every skull cap, every knit hat, every grain of rice stuck to the face of a child. That's my man, Rudy. Rudy's not ashamed of his voice, his throat, strong like coconut root, holding on to what is his. And Rudy ain't afraid to make no mistake because he knows that if you love God, there ain't no such thing as a mistake. Is that right, Rudy?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Rudy's face is painted in Frisco shadows, Frisco darkness, and Frisco blood. His face is painted in 6th Street shadows. And the heart of Corpus is the heart of Fructuoso, and Robles, and Cabande, and Soro, and Ponzal, and Calica, and Trinidad, and Dumantay, and Manila Town. Cool don't live here no more. And some people say that's just the way it is. And some people say that's just the way it goes. And other people go back even farther to just say, hey, it just bees that way sometimes, right? But we remember all those words, don't we? Cool said good morning. Cool shook your hand. A coming together of finger palm prints that told our story in the unsaid cool that you only had to feel. But like they say, cool don't live here no more. Cool done packed up, took a hike, packed up, and said it was time to leave it alone. Cool took the A through Z train and the Z through A train and the multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, mostly subtraction train out of here. One straight shot. And like they say, that's just how it goes, right? Cool took the A through Z train out of here, one straight shot. And like we oftentimes say, rest in peace. Punto. He admired Miles Davis. And Miles Davis had this record called The Birth of the Cool. And this is another take on this, The Death of the Cool. Cool don't live here no more. Cool left like yesterday's headline. Cool left like yesterday's model. Like the B-side of a record that never got played. Cool came and went, and in the breeze of coolness, the cool disappeared. Cool used to show up in the morning and stay a while. Now, the morning don't even show its face, and cool doesn't either. Some misfires and things that didn't quite make the highlight reel. And the maintenance guy spoke about the old days, which had been his young days. And somehow that garbage room became the church I'd been searching for. And all was cool, like the drum. And I said all was cool. So I wrote an article about my experience talking to the man and sharing his music. And one day the man read it. I ran into him the other day. And this is what he said. Say, man, you know that shit you wrote? It's some okay shit. But you got some shit wrong. I don't got no chipped tooth. And I ain't from Louisiana, I'm from Oakland. Now what's that shit about the story of my life written on my black skin? The only thing on my skin is ash, and I use lotion to take care of it. The man spoke a little while before leaving me with the words, that shit you wrote was okay, but I could have wrote some better shit than that. He took out a small bottle of lotion, put some on, massaged it in. Tough flip. You knew some tough flips too in the past, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. You got it. We're ready for them. Okay. Check this out. Tough flip. Now, the Filipino guy is the baddest looking guy on the block. Has a scar running over the bridge of his nose. His name is tattooed on his neck in cursive. And you ain't gonna believe what his name is. Percival. And how did that happen? But that's his name, Percival. He works as a transport specialist at the Filipino restaurant on the corner, transporting boxes of lumpia wrappers, produce, rice noodles, meat byproducts, and toilet paper from point A to point B. Right. All on a hand truck. Placing it all over there, and over there. When asked how things are going, he answers, "So far, no good." Says he's hanging in there. Has been hanging in there for more than 20 years. I graduated from Hanging in There University, he adds. Hang U for short. Is one of their success stories. One of their many success stories. All right. So, Manila Town, Chinatown to J-Town to Bayview to Soma to the heart and soul of the people that are here. Do you hear that sound? The sound of skin from Benito's drum is the sound of resistance. The skin of Benito's drum is the skin of Mission Abuelitas, Fillmore Black Elders, South of Market, Filipino Veteranos, and Lolos and Lolas, and children and Chinatown elders carrying their lives in plastic bags. The skin of Benito's drum is the skin of his life, the skin of Manila Town. And those of you from Soma know what I'm talking about, the skin of Lechon Filipino struggle, the skin of the I Hotel, the skin of poets who wrote on the walls of their minds, "Hell no, we won't go." Repeat.
Hell no, we won't go.
One more time.
Hell no, we won't go.
And like the man said, Benito's drum is the beat of struggle, from the heart of struggle, from the mind of struggle. The drum bone beat of hands carry the dirt poems of the I Hotel, rising out of the ground, rising out of the ground, rising out of the ground. Benito's drum skin, drum beat life, awakes the city from its sleep. It wakes the elders, the children, the workers, the forgotten. Benito's drum is wakening the city, it's wakening the city, it's opening our eyes. Benito's drum is wakening the city. His hands are on the drum, his hands are on the pulse of the city. His drum is awakening the city with the sound of his I Hotel heart. And as my wife would say, punto. Every pump, every bump of the fist, every note on the musical scale that is sliding. Our city, a musical scale that is tipped and dipped with the bent back and a beautiful arc of musical notes that live in our skin. And we hang on to the city, our city, the landscape that lives in our blood, soul, and spirit, because it is ours.